Hello friends, and welcome to quiz number 5 in Midi II. We are finally done with that Midi Power book, and we're moving into, I think it's Modern Midi is the name of the other book. And I like today's quiz because we're just going to do a little review of music theory. I can talk about music theory for a long time and get much more detailed than this, but in case you will find it useful to have some of the basics again, or for the first time. That's what we're going to try to do here. So first of all, rhythm, melody, and harmony, all three are elements of music, right? And I like to try to have all three, right? Anyway, two or more notes being played simultaneously, functioning as independent lines, are polyphonic textures. So polyphonic, many notes, many sounds, right? Polyphonic. Some synthesizers are monophonic. There are a lot of instruments that are monophonic just because, like, they're a wind instrument. Trumpets and saxophones and flutes, they can only play one note at a time. But pianos, keyboards, guitars, they can play multiple notes at a time. Those are polyphonic textures. Okay, the lines on a treble clef. You can remember them by every good boy does fine. From the bottom to the top, E, G, B, D, F. Okay, octave. An octave is the note 7 letter names above or below the previous note. It's kind of an ugly way of saying that, but we know C, if you go all the way up to the next C, that's an octave up, right? If you have D flat, you go all the way down to the next D flat, that's an octave. Okay. For a major, oh no, I was going to skip this one. Number 5 is that there are 4 beats in a measure of 4/4, and that's what the top number means, 4 quarter notes. Good. A major scale, the way we get that is the intervals between the different notes, and it's whole, half, whole, half. We were happy when we were home is another mnemonic that I've heard people say. When I teach this in other classes, I like to say root, whole, half, and that seems to help people because they'll play a note and say the whole step, and it will mess them up. But if you play root and then whole step up, whole step, half step, good enough. That'll make more sense if I'm helping you do it. But let's move on. Key signatures are used so that accidentals do not have to be written on every note every time, right? If we are in the key of F, in F major, there is a B flat. And so without a key signature, you would have to write B flat every time. This is an area where I could talk much more about this. So let's just move on. Triads. Triads have 3 components: the root, the third, and the fifth. So counting up from the root, skip the second, the third note, skip the fourth note, play the fifth note. 1, 3, 5. Root, third, fifth. Awesome. 7th chords then just add the next note. 7th chords are an extension. It combines the triad with the root, the third, and the fifth with the 7th interval above the root. Okay. And lastly, the 1-4-5-1 progression is the most common chord progression used today. That's what the question says. I would say the most common adds a 6th in there somewhere. right? So again, if we were in the key of C, it might be 1, 4, 6, 5, right? C, F, A minor, G, over and over again. But I tried not to talk too much about it. And I tried not to pay too much, because at these prices, the kangaroo is not surprised.